Down the knife. Put it down! Come on! Put down the knife!
This is the United Kingdom.
Yo.
Oh man, look how he tries to
Put down the knife!
get in this car. This is
United
oh shit, he almost fucked up.
Kingdom,
He almost fucked
where
up.
it's illegal to carry a knife longer than 3 inches in public without good purpose and is punishable up to 4 years in prison. As of 2022, 40% of all homicides in England and Wales was done using a sharp instrument like a knife or a broken bottle. And knife crime is up 76% over the last 10 years. Knives have become the primary boogeyman for politicians to point the blame at.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying I want either. Just putting this out there. Not saying this but I would rather be shot by a gun. If small caliber, you're not pulling out a fucking AR, pop, you're not okay. If I get sliced up, if someone slices me up, I'm gonna be more pissed off than if I get shot. I'm just saying. I'm gonna be more pissed off.
They say a man drove into a house and then began stabbing people with a sword.
Call police, mate. Call the police. I think I've been stabbed and cut about 24 times. I've been shot 5 times and I've been hit with an axe.
That's just
it's not safe around here anymore. Anything can happen in seconds. They're selling online for £15. A whole big katana longer than your whole leg.
I've got scars all over my arm, my leg, stabbed in my face.
Through where the bullet went through. Look, it stopped.
I don't know how you're lying, by the way.
It stopped halfway through, look.
Whoa, this is crazy. And as of January 2024, new laws passed making the purchase of zombie blades illegal. But is knife crime as bad as the media paints it out to be? Are people afraid of getting stabbed while walking the streets of London? And will banning the purchase of knives stop people from stabbing each other? I pulled up to Camden, a borough in central London, to find out.
It's not the knife's fault. It depends who's got them. But I wouldn't say I'm not into banning anything, really. I'm into regulation.
Okay. Like zombie blades or just like all the knives?
Pretty much everything.
All of them? You think knives should be banned?
Like banning stuff, right?
Like all of them, or just like the big zombie knives?
Any?
Anyone that carries knives in the streets are cowards.
Making it sound
I think if you was to sit there and say, no, I don't think they should be banned, something's wrong.
Something's wrong with you?
Something's wrong.
Yeah?
You shouldn't need to walk around with a knife.
What do you cut your bread with?
A knife, obviously. Oh, yeah, no, you're right.
That's my dilemma, yeah.
So-
What would happen? Would people start cutting their food with like plastic knives?
Forks.
Okay, interesting. What about like a steak?
You have to use a knife, but you can
That makes sense.
use a little.
How are you gonna cut shit at home? I use knife. Whoa, that's gonna be tough.
No sharp.
That's gonna be a tough get around.
Yeah, all right. So it's all about that sharpness.
It's gonna have to shoot it up.
I'm scared of like when I was at school, someone tried to steal everything off of me with a knife. Take away the weapons.
Okay.
Knives?
Knives.
Just like on the street? Yeah.
Sure.
Obviously, yeah.
What about like kitchen knives?
Like there's like an onion, and you're like, how many dices do you want? 3. But have it 3 dices, please. All right. Sir, here's your onion.
You can't really do that, can you?
I don't know.
Why do you need a blade that big?
Sure, like let's say even a sword. Just
A sword?
yeah. You're always gonna have the hobbyists out there, right?
Yeah, well, exactly. If used in the right way, nothing should be banned, really. But that's very difficult to police, isn't it?
I think knives should be banned.
And then,
No? Yes.
Yeah. All of them?
Yes.
Even kitchen knives?
Of course they should.
Yeah.
But knives don't kill people. People kill people.
All
It's
right.
that easy.
I think it depends on the context.
That's a good point.
Where do you find the people with the knives? Probably in concerts or public places might be banned.
Not banned, but they have to take more control.
no.
Like,
No, because for cooking is...
cocinar.
Yes. I actually went to school with someone who died from a knife crime. I think that with banning anything, it's not as easy as you're just going to be able to get everything off the street. Things are always going to happen regardless. Like, for example, we don't have guns here, but we still have, we still have gun violence. It's not as common.
Sure.
It would have to be a very detailed plan, really cracking down on different areas. It's a very complex issue that I don't think a flustered 21-year-old who just saw you on the street can answer.
Yeah, no, hey, you did a great job though, jumping in that.
Not the ones in the kitchen.
Not the ones in the kitchen. I mean, I guess the question is if I bring it out of the kitchen, it's now in the streets, right?
I guess. I'm not really around knives much.
Same. Do you think all of the knives should be banned?
I mean, yeah, it is better not just for like, you know, for us. It's for like, you know, because some people when they're like drunk or something, they wouldn't like, you know, think about what they're doing. So directly they would just
ban
stab.
knives,
and then like
guys.
when they wake up from being drunk
These
and they
posts
know
right
what they
here,
did, they're gonna be like, yeah, I
these
did
glasses,
the
bottles, stuff like that.
Stay away
Keep
from
them though.
booze.
Yeah.
But no knives.
I think it will be easy.
Can't have any knives.
Buy them in Morrison.
Okay, right over there.
Sainsbury, yeah.
Morrison's. All right, let me see what I
People
can
start
do.
getting dangerous
We were
when you
going to
let them
purchase a
around.
knife. Boom. Do you think knives should be banned?
Not really, because you need them in the kitchen. So like, how are you gonna, do you know what I mean?
How do you do it, right?
I think when it comes to knife crime, you need to look at the social causes, not just how easy it is to buy a knife. Like, I think there's a lot more to it than that. I think you're better off, instead of banning knives, I think you're better off actually investing in young people. I think that's the way that you stop knife crime.
I think you're onto something. Thank you. Now I'm gonna go on a mass murder spree. Kidding. Please don't call the cops. All right, bye. Let's say you do ban these. The question then becomes, is this a sufficient enough deterrent to stop me from getting a chunk of metal and sharpening it myself? I don't know. Honestly, probably, yeah. I'd be too lazy to go make my own knife, but I would get the screwdriver and start hacking away personally. And if not a knife, they own a pair of scissors. So I think what they're really saying is ban slightly weaponized, sharp things. But this is not intended to be a weapon. So where does this logic end? Question for you, miss. Do you think knives should be banned?
Yes, definitely.
Like
yeah.
something like this?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
What if I need to cut my bread?
Well, I mean, outside or inside?
What if I bring it outside?
Only if it's near your flat or where you live.
What about?
Yeah.
Wait. My God, I'm so sorry. That's absolutely horrific. What about this right here?
Only if it's near your flat or where you live.
What about this right
yeah,
here?
Yeah, I mean.
What can you ban that? Do you ban the poles? Because they could also.
Yeah. I mean,
they could really hurt people. You know, like they really could. If. Right? Like, I get it. It's not as used as knives. It's not the common thing that's used. That's the argument, right? But if you ban knives, who's to say people wouldn't just go get another weapon that's just as good as knives, if not better, and just fuck people up with that? Like, and who's to say when you ban knives, you're not gonna have underground knife manufacturers out there who are selling them off? Like, you can't guarantee that. You can't. That's not a guarantee, and it will never
we have
be.
bad knife crime in Camden. It's really bad. No one's controlling it, and
See?
it's along with phones being snatched is also another big problem here. But yeah, I wouldn't do it. Yeah.
Why is it so bad here, do you think?
Because there's nothing for the kids to do, so they're just like wandering around with no activities, and I think that's part of it.
Do you think knives should be banned?
Yeah, of course, man. Use your hands, man.
Nice, man.
Use
Peace
your
and
hands,
love.
bruv.
Peace
What
and
about
love.
these right here? What if I'm cutting bread
That's for
tonight?
kitchen.
It should be a much stricter sort of administration on it.
And do you think that logic should apply to all
So
knives?
there's certain knives that are
all
for the
knives,
kitchen.
anything sharp. If you can do damage with it, it should be registered.
Could you stop someone from finding something else that's sharp?
No, if anyone wants to hurt themselves, they'll do it. But I think
Hurt someone else.
that's more of a reflection on the mental health crisis.
What?
Okay, this is
What?
interesting.
What?
They can't be banned because you have to use them for eating.
Sure. What about like a sword?
Maybe yes.
Yeah. All right.
If you want to stab someone, you don't need a knife. You can use a pencil. You can use a pen. You don't need a knife. You know, you need education.
What do you think about that?
We don't like guns. We don't like violence.
Shouldn't use knives for violence.
Okay.
That's it.
I figured it out. The simple answer is ban violence. But this new zombie knife ban begs the question. Once zombie knives are banned, should regular kitchen knives also be banned? Can a government regulate violence out of people?
The first step to tackling your credit card debt is understanding how much debt you actually have and
People? Or will people just find other creative ways of hurting each other? I pulled up to Edmonton and met up with Farron, an anti-knife crime activist and vigilante superhero who runs a knife amnesty program where he meets up with knife owners, allowing them to anonymously.
Do you think the people that are doing these crimes give a fuck about what the regulations are? So why do you think if you lowered regulation, if they're actively committing crimes, right? And I guess the argument that you could make there, before I finish what my actual argument is that it's not like gonna happen like that, right? Like it would lower the amount of it would lower the amount of availability to have some of this stuff that harms people or whatever you want to say, Okay. That's a point, but also, like, it's not, because it's already out there, and people can make it, and people still make it. Like, you think just because, like, what if you make guns illegal in Saudi Arabia? Like, you just fucking buy guns. There's ways to just buy guns. Like, it doesn't really take into factor, I think, like, people thinking about it, and because people are gonna make it no matter what. People are gonna make the shit that harms people. And now we're running in circles.
Famously turn their knives in, avoid criminal charges for possessing them in the first place, all while taking knives off the streets.
Young people see me as a place of hope and a place of relief where I'm able to take their weapons with no consequences. It's anonymous. I'll then dispose of them through the police, or we're going to start actually processing them ourselves and melting them down into other objects out of stainless steel that could be used for the bettering of young people in the community. Like, the main aim is if we can transform these young children's mental thinking, then hopefully that should transition to positive actions.
And how many knives would you say you've retrieved from the youth the time you've been doing this?
Just under 5,000 right now.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's a lot.
We work strategically with thousands of different organisations. When thousands take the weapons off them, sometimes they need more longer-term support, and it's how we work with them afterwards to stop them from going back into the gangs or stop back from taking knives.
When I say knives, we're not talking about kitchen knives, yeah?
What are we talking about?
So come along and you find out.
Are these blades? Swords right here? Oh.
Damn. Those are dope, though.
Yeah. Mate, all
those
you
are
gotta do
dope.
is
Why
look
would
at
you
them
want to
and see
melt
that people's
those?
been getting nearly decapitated with machetes.
Yo.
Oh. Those are
Yeah.
awesome.
I thought it was nothing as well until I saw that hanging at the end of it.
That could do some damage. I mean, we're getting creative here. This is like Viking-esque. The serrated edges look brutal.
Brutal, isn't it? But
I mean, that's just like intended to inflict pain.
look at this steel. It looks like proper hardened steel.
That's awesome.
Yo.
Yeah.
This is
Hell
cool.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Wait, why would you?
I'll hold that for you.
Why would
Put it
you?
apart.
whoa. This
Why
is
would you
crazy.
destroy
I mean,
this
this looks casual. You could be chilling. You like, looks like a little bamboo stick.
100% he has to keep that one.
Yo.
Has to.
I mean, would this even hurt someone?
Probably hurt yourself.
Yeah, I guess if it hit you, it's just a goofy at a certain point. When people typically hand these in, are they like, you know, I made a mistake, I shouldn't have had this knife,
There's
I
so
need to
many
get...
different reasons and...
Damn, this would do some damage.
That's pretty cool.
Are people typically hiding
That's
them
cool
in their
as
pants?
fuck.
They hide them in the bottom of the shoe underneath the inner soles. They hide them in bushes and stuff like that.
Wait, these are
You think
awesome.
you've been given blades that are murder weapons?
Give them
If
out.
someone told me they've hurt someone
To
with a weapon,
people
I'll never
who
take it.
aren't gonna
Like, I'm not
fucking
here to
kill
facilitate murders.
with them,
Sure.
alright?
Yeah, alibi to someone.
I didn't even think about that.
I've done a collection where I handed in 130 weapons, and they blood tested every single weapon, and there weren't one bit of blood in it. I believe that if someone done something with a weapon, they wouldn't wait around for me to collect it. They could just dispose of it themselves. You know what I mean?
And what got you into this?
I've been in a situation where I've been stabbed on 2 separate occasions. In it, I got a total of 8 stab wounds.
Brass knuckles, too?
Yeah.
So does
that's,
he.
that's
Oh,
everything in there.
damn.
Even got a taser in there somewhere. This is how it would be.
Oh,
if I
whoa.
sent someone. So basically, I put this inside of this. You see, it's got my address in it to this building already. They put the knife in there, and then they use this prepaid package and send it straight back to me.
Oh, the little pods.
I'm sure that we got another one of these in there. We saw one of them.
Oh, that thing's sick. That's the problem. These things do look cool. They attract me visually.
No, they're awesome.
Yo.
I want them.
Homemade
Triple
stuff.
nunchucks.
You should want them. They're
So
fucking
you have
cool.
these emergency bleed control kits. What are those?
So basically,
You shouldn't be
this is
ashamed
another
of.
thing that we work on.
You shouldn't be ashamed of wanting something that looks fucking awesome. Like, if you're not gonna do shit with it, don't be fucking ashamed of that, man. That's stupid. That shit's awesome. Anyone who tells you different is wrong.
This is gonna have things that can basically stem large bleeding. We've got the faux blanket, so if you lose too much blood and you're going to shot, this will keep you warm. We then got the tourniquet that would be used to stem bleeding. You put this 4 inches over the wound, not too tight, not too loose, and that will stop excessive blood loss. Then we've got the open vented chest seals. That's something that if you get any stab wounds in the chest area, you have to put this on, and it will stop air from going into the body and basically collapsing the lung or causing more problems.
And do you think this should be standard issue for people these days?
You know what the thing is about it, right?
What?
There's first responders, and a lot of people see first responders as the emergency services, but you need to think about it. A young group of children walking home from school, who's really the first respondent? The friend that's seen it happening. And if their friends have got the right knowledge or the right equipment to stop bleeding, because usually if you get hit somewhere in the, like if you get stabbed in your artery, you can bleed out in minutes. Tyler, you know what it is when you get stabbed?
Dummy.
Your adrenaline is rushing and you don't even realise you got stabbed because it feels like you're getting punched. Where I really noticed it was a bit weird was, you know when you bleed, you can feel the blood trickling on you, down your body. But when I touched my neck, there was no blood on my hand.
Is that how you got stabbed?
I got stabbed in my neck, my head, my chest, my back, my bum. 18 times. I got stabbed 9 times once, then 9 times the next time. It goes all the way down there across my...
Holy shit. That looks painful.
Yeah, across my clavicle bone.
I mean, it healed quite well.
But when I touched it, there was no blood coming, but I could feel the blood dripping, but I was bleeding inside. So it's forming a hematoma. I lost 40% of my blood though. They put me into induced coma. A day into the coma, I jumped out of my induced coma and I grabbed the nurse by her hair, started pulling my wires out because obviously I was in shock. My body's fighting from shock, do you know what I mean? So they basically shot now and again. Then I got up, man, I had a tube out my neck, tube in my arm, drip in my other arm, tube in my foot, I had the catheter in, and there I was just like, fuck me, man. But my main problem was like, it gave me nerve damage. So I had a lot to work back from. It's like a big shock. Like when I got stabbed, it's like a big blur of white, it went jing, and I just heard a big ringing noise like that, and I couldn't understand what happened. Like I had the 5 nerves that control your neck and your arm and all that. 4 of them got cut straight through, the 5th one got severed. The guy stabbed me once, stabbed me twice. But the second stab in my neck, my arms went down, bang like that. I was trying to fight him off, and he just kept stabbing me, and then I fell on the floor. And
shit, man, come on, hey, I
was like,
shit.
I've never lost a fight before. What the f just happened? I was like, damn, man. All I thought in my head, I got defeated, and then after that, it's like he started to go one way. I started to crawl off like that. I was crawling up, I was like, and I said to me,
damn, we need this animated.
And then he come back to me again when I was crawling up, I was like, oh, me. Then he stabbed me in my f***ing spine, just above my spine, and stabbed me on the bottom of my bum again. I was like,
oh, man.
After that, the f***ing police come in it. I'm trying to be normal now, do you get me? I'm not trying to get arrested. They've come up to me, they're like, oh, we heard there's been a fight, what's going on? I said, nothing, man. I said, I'm good. Like, no, nothing's going on. And she's chatting to me. But these times, I'm starting to fade now. I've just been stabbed 9 times in it. So I'm just like, she's like, you're right. I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm alright, man. I said, what's wrong? I said, oh, I'm tired. I've been jogging. But these times, I'm in the process of losing all my blood. Do you get me?
Yeah. You're dying.
And then she's like, cold red, multiple stab wounds, bro. Literally, I look down, my top's just going like that. It's just getting redder. My neck's redder. My hair was hanging on my shoulder. I just remember getting rushed to the hospital. I just remember saying to him, like, why ain't my arm working? And he just said to me, like, our main thing is to stop your bleeding right now. Do you get me? I lost so much blood. And after that, yeah, man, just literally the road to recovery. It went from anger, revenge, and I think that's why I've just got such a fight against knife crime. I feel like every single day I take a knife off someone, I feel like I'm getting my bit back at knife crime for what happened to me, do you know what I'm saying? So it's just like a forever burning furnace in my chest to just do what I can towards knife crime, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, who was this guy?
So he had a fight with a female family member. I come back and defended it hand to hand, and smacked him up. Then he come back with a knife, and I used to pride myself in fighting, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that was me. Like I'd have a fight. I weren't a bully or nothing, but I could definitely hold my own. Think about it. I got stabbed 9 times once, then I got stabbed 9 times again. If I was a habitual knife carrier, I would have been the one doing the stabbing. And even to this day now, I'd never carry a knife. Like I'm good, and the life that I live, it'd be very, very strange for me to get in any sort of incidents where a knife's gonna be turned at me. Do you know what I mean?
Well, like, here's the question of what about the self-defense of it? If you need to defend yourself against someone else who's going to stab you, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Run? What if they start running after you with the knife? What do you do then? What do you call the police? Okay, let's wait for the clown car because we're in EU, remember? So you're waiting on a clown car to come, maybe 15 minutes, I don't know. And by that time, you're already dead. So
you see America, you see when you don't say you're gonna give someone a life sentence, they be like, you get 100 years plus 2 more life sentences. Now that's a real life sentence, yeah? Sure. In England, when you get a life sentence, someone's been in jail for a couple of years, they get 12 years, do half of it before you know it, they're out in 4. People say, oh, but look in America, people still do crazy things. I get it. But guess what? That crazy person, he ain't gonna be around for 70 years no more. He ain't getting a chance to come back out and do the same thing again. So I do think, yeah, the consequences in terms of law for people that's using stabbing, it's not a good deterrent. I just basically pray, yeah, that the children of England don't get the accessibility to guns. Like, think of how calculated, premeditated you gotta be to say, you know what, tomorrow morning, I'm gonna take my knife that I ordered from USA. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in my pants. I'm gonna make sure that I don't get cut with a serrated edge. I'm gonna go 5 miles down the road. I'm gonna wait outside the guy's building or his school. I'm gonna stab him. And then they've got to do a whole new getaway now with this whole bloodstained knife. He's got to make sure he gets close enough to that person and pushes it in, hear the cry, feel the knife go through bone, tissue and everything, and run away with a knife that's going to be bloodstained. How hard do you think a person with that mind state, yeah, how hard is it going to be for him to put a gun and pull it at someone?
Oh, it's easy. It's inhuman to just pull a trigger. Yeah. This is wild that people are buying these.
It's either or. I don't understand the statement there.
Don't get cut with a serrated edge. I'm gonna go 5 miles down the road. I'm gonna wait outside the guy's building or his school. I'm gonna stab him. And then they've got to do a whole new getaway now with this whole bloodstained knife. He's got to make sure he gets close enough to that person and pushes it in, hear the cry, feel the knife go through bone, tissue and everything, and run away with a knife that's going to be bloodstained. How hard do you think a person with that mind state, yeah, how hard is it going to be for him to put a gun and pull it at someone?
Well, the same as if he went out and stabbed someone with a knife. It's the same mind state. It's the same form of aggression. It's definitely different types of it, right? One is more physical.
Oh, it's easy. It's inhuman to just pull a trigger. Yeah.
Same thing.
This is wild that people are buying
yeah,
these
you're still
for
taking
50p.
someone's life.
I mean, I don't know why.
Trying.
6 hours is even possible.
Well, these guys are not only taking these blades straight out of Elden Ring off the streets and into safe hands, they also melt the metal from these blades and turn it into things like gym equipment for at-risk youth to use at this youth center they're building.
We got a partnership at Amazon.
Wait, that's
Gym
awesome.
equipment and into possible. Well, these guys are not only
That's the
taking these
Teenage
blades
Mutant
straight out
Ninja
of Elden
Turtles
Ring
one.
off the streets and into safe hands.
Look at that. You hold it like this. You gotta hold it like this. And
they also melt the metal from these blades and turn it into things like gym equipment for at-risk youth to use at this youth center they're building.
We got a partnership at Amazon. All their defected goods or return goods, they come to us and we basically get an engineer, fix them with young people, and we give them out to the community or people that's in need of them.
We've got about 28 rooms that are done. These are some of the rooms. We've got about 37 to go. We've got upstairs, downstairs, massive photography and film studios, media rooms, and we really want to do a lot. Dynamic activities to really empower and support these young people. All here from
old existence into a light of love and acceptance and sort of a selflessness.
And was there something that happened to you that led you to switch your path and pivot?
Yeah, well basically, if I'm being honest, I got arrested in 2012 for 4 murders and I got extradited from Spain to England to stand trial. Whilst I was on trial, and one of the people that used to work for me ran a bill up. We used to give people drugs and everything to sell, and this one kid ran a bill up that was exponential, and he needed to be taught a lesson. So I wanted to hurt him. When I went to hurt him, I kind of found out he was my son's best mate, or one of my son's closest friends, and I realised the ripple effect of the actions I was committing was just harming kids, and it's got to stop. And that was that in 2014 I decided not to engage in criminal activities where young people are risking their life, their liberties and their futures on a product that ain't going to get them anywhere. And then basically I've had to go through a transition of losing all my money, all my assets, all the bits and pieces that I accumulated in that world. I had to let it go to start my journey fresh so I can demonstrate by example on how to change your life.
I see a scar across your face.
Yeah.
Is that a prosthetic eye?
Yeah.
Did you get shot in the eye?
Yeah, I got shot, point blank range. I got shot in my leg. It went down my penis and shot my right testicle out. I got shot in my arm. It bounced off the floor, went through my hip and exited my 7 and 8 lower vertebrae. And then basically he finished up with a headshot here. Put your finger on there.
Yeah.
No, that thing up, look. Where the bullet went through.
Oh, shit.
Look, it stopped.
I don't know how you're live, by the way.
It stopped halfway through, look. So
How are you live right now, Mark?
I don't know.
What were you doing back then?
Everything. How we doing?
How you doing, man?
See you. Come on. Yeah. Marvin Herbert.
A legend.
How are we getting on?
It seemed like Marvin's criminal past had made him a legend in the community.
Big Marv, big building.
Yeah, there we go.
Have an amazing afternoon, ladies. Don't let yourselves down.
You know everyone out here. This is your place.
This is my planet, yeah, this is where I'm from, innit? So this is where all the major raves were, here and the Forum and Kennishatten and Camden Palace. At 11, 12 years of age, I was really a crackhead, smoking crack, heroin.
You did a crack at 12?
11, 12, yeah. We were selling it at first and second year of secondary school. We were smoking crack and selling crack and heroin and ecstasies. And basically, because these were the places we used to come, it sounds crazy, yeah?
It's pretty crazy.
At 11, 12 years of age, it sounds crazy, but this was our reality.
So, Marv, you're a nice guy. People are taking photos with you. You're smiling. You're saying, hey, how you doing? Were you always like that?
No, I've always been nice. I was the kind of criminal that protected the weaker criminals. So I took on adversity because I didn't like bullies. I think I've been stabbed and cut about 24 times. I've been shot 5 times and I've been hit with an axe. Stabbing weren't a problem. Okay. Being stabbed weren't a problem for me. And getting shot weren't a problem for me. It was me stabbing and shooting other people that became a problem. Say you got a kid here, right, and I'll give you something to get you on your feet to help you.
All right.
And I know you got no money.
Got nothing.
Yeah? But then when you fuck up, I'm supposed to do what? Stab and shoot you. That's not fair.
You have to, right?
Yeah, but it's not fair, is it? I've never hurt anybody for money. Do you know what I mean? That's one thing I've never done. And anybody that owed me money, they got left alone. Have an amazing afternoon, gentlemen. I will do. Don't let yourselves down now.
You're like a ray of sunshine out here, Marv.
Yeah, I like making people feel comfortable, man.
Yeah.
Have an amazing afternoon, lady. And I like making people smile. Have an amazing afternoon. See, there you go. Yo, thank you very much, my brother. No one ever thanks you for keeping this sweet and clean.
Marvin seemed like he was channeling the energy he once used to allegedly murder people to being a force for positivity in the same community he used to be a complete menace in. Just like some of the troubled youth we see today stabbing each other with knives spot off Temu. Let's go back. So 13 years old, let's say, how do you eventually get into top dog status, king of the criminals, if you will, and end up getting shot?
Going up the criminal ladder, it started with car stereos. From the car stereos, we went into cars. From the cars, we went into burglaries. I didn't like burglaries, so I went straight from the cars into vans, delivery vehicles, anyone delivering vehicles or precious goods. And then after that, afternoon, OG, come on, where are we here? Basically car stereos to cars, to delivery trucks, to money. You know, money's in transit, the Security Corps vehicles. And they went from Security Corps vehicles into guns and drugs and murders, and then into the, what's it called, logistics and transportation of drugs. So I've been arrested for maybe 18 shootings, 25 murders, I don't know how many armed robberies, you know.
How did they not lock you up?
Because it's not what they know, it's what they can prove.
I see. Are people eyeing for the crown you sit upon at the time?
No one can take my crown.
So are you compensating for some of the evil things you've done, or what?
Yeah, that's what it is. We're giving back, man. Have an amazing day, people.
Wow.
Basically, no, I started realising that all the people in that criminal world never loved me. And I've been risking my whole life because no one comes to see me in the hospital. I helped hundreds of people for my whole childhood against bullies. And not one of them come to see me.
Why? Do you think they would today?
No. They're all wankers. Have an amazing day, sir. When you've been involved in shootings and murders, right, and you've seen people shot in the head and killed, when you get shot all over and you're lying on the floor and someone walks up to you and puts a bullet in your head, a gun in your head and goes bang, bang, you don't expect to wake up. And the fact that I never even passed out, I rung my own ambulance.
What?
I didn't think it was real. What? Because when he shot me in the face, it all went numb. I didn't know what happened. What I did do was got better.
Okay.
Yeah?
Healed up.
Ah! Now I'm the sickest machine you'll ever see. And if any of them come in my journey right now, then they'd face me at the best version of me possible. I actually realised that the universe, people call it God, wanted me alive, mate. Have an amazing day, sir. When I've turned my life around and I've run out of money and I had nowhere to live and I was homeless, my mate, I rang him up. I said, what can I do? Where can I go? And he said, I've got a yard. You can have the yard. So
I like that. Check it out. Oh, right on. This is a nice little flat, eh? What do we got going on here? What's up, Bear?
This is my headquarters.
Okay.
This is where we're starting HMP from.
Okay. So this is a reset we're witnessing.
This is a reset, man.
So you went from top of the organized crime world and you're back here, you're resetting. With all of the alleged murders and crimes to rise to the top of the criminal ladder, once the law catches up to you, you get sent all the way back down to level 1. I met up with Venom, a youngster allegedly still in the game, who looks up to Marv so I could try to figure out why he would even consider messing with the law after seeing Marv's current life situation. Have you ever had to use a knife?
Yeah, in the kitchen.
Okay. And you're kind of a new gen criminal or what?
I wouldn't say I'm a criminal, it's just that
get by in life. Do you know what I mean? Work for a government. I don't see working a 9 to 5 going to get you a nice car or get a mortgage or, do you know what I mean? When you're in government, you're locked in. So I just want to have a good life.
So you're taking to some more unconventional methods to make some money?
Yeah. Like the things I want to do, like do you know what I mean? I can't do it with a 9 to 5. And plus, like, I don't really like taking orders or, do you know what I mean?
So you're kind of independent on the streets?
Yeah. Well, when I was homeless when I was 14, 15. Like, I went into care. Do you know what I mean? I had to do like criminal stuff to be able to pay for a hotel because I couldn't get ours. Because I didn't have no family or support when I was younger. I did, but not as good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you walk around here. You have like a piece on you?
I ain't gonna say too much, but
what's something one might protect themselves with out here?
Well, out here in London, anything goes, mate. You could have a bottle of acid, a chiv, a pinger.
Bottle of acid?
Yeah.
Huh?
Anything goes. And like, when you're on the roads, it's different. It's not like you're all by and you could just walk down the street and then, do you know what I mean? Yeah, you got to look after your shoulder. You don't know who's who. You don't know who's talking behind your back. You don't know who's trying to stab you in the back or set you up. So it's not a nice life, but it builds you into a strong person. I got stabbed 3 weeks ago as well.
You got stabbed?
Yeah,
Should I see?
Yeah.
Whoa!
That's another one. I've got scars all over my arms, my legs, stabbed in my face. I don't give a fuck who you are, what you've done in your life, what status or whereabouts. Do you know what I mean? You piss me off, you could be Conor McGregor, Anthony Joshua. You know, I know I'm going to lose in my head, but I'm not losing, I'm winning. I'm going to step toe to toe, and if I get knocked out, sweet, I'll go and I'll come back with a bigger thing. Do you know what I mean? That's how it is. I ain't backing out for no one.
Thing, we're talking maybe a chicken cutter?
I don't know, might be a paintball gun or something.
So, I mean, I got this from an unknown source, but this is pretty standard carry out here, or what?
Yeah, that's normal. That's the people run around with
a kitchen knife, or what?
I mean, people run around with Rambos, ZKs. I mean, took their arm off. You know what I mean?
So in your kitchen, do sometimes you gotta get something sharp and chop away at the rotisserie chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it when the chicken acts up, or when you have to make the chicken know, like, hey, I rule these streets?
Nah, I don't do that. Like, do you know what I mean? If I don't look at person, someone's making money over there, I ain't gonna go up to them and say, right, you're on my block making money. Nah, if everyone eats, everyone eats. But if you bother my peace or bother any of my family or my friends, then yeah. It's not like the olden days where everyone has a one-on-one straightener like down around Millwall or in the park or you shake hands and you walk off. Nah, mate.
Yeah.
Like my other friend, I mean, he got stabbed. Like, I mean, he died. Like one more tattoo, all that.
So these tattoos represent people you've lost?
Yeah. They're here and here.
And this due to knife violence or what?
One was knife violence. One was a bike.
I feel like some of these are like brought on incidents of like they're fighting people and they'll pull out a knife.
Accident.
The bike?
Yeah, come off a bike. I think he was getting chased by police.
Instead
I don't
of,
know the full story.
What I thought it was, which would be
learn things
people
and
being
learn
robbed.
things during the streets. Do you know what I mean?
But it
I don't
seems
regret
like
it.
he's
Maybe the
interviewing
person who I am.
It seems like he's interviewing more of like criminal people who are in that mix, you know, in that type of life. Instead of people who were just walking around one day and just got stabbed for no reason, right? That would I think that would be a good one to...
How did you get the name Venom?
Obviously...
They said it would be too hard to earn a degree while working full-time, but WGU offers flex...
Obviously, I'm a good, like, loving, loyal, caring, respectful person, but like when goes down and I have to like go on a job or I have to do someone, then I'm the most evilest person, do you know what I mean? Because...
You eerie?
Like, I wouldn't say I'm a good person, but when like, you piss me off or, then yeah, like, I don't know back.
Would you, if the chicken pissed you off, would you give him a slice?
Yeah. So I'd probably bother for fighting now.
Or would it just be more of a preventative slice, like off, mate?
Yeah, but I'll probably just do it down the face.
You punch him before you slice the chicken?
No. I'll slice
beat the chicken, but you'd slap it.
Yeah, before I've done, see, I got paranoid schizophrenia. Like, I'd rather do the geezer before he does me. Like, I got stabbed in the chest, like, do you know what I mean? I was very close, I didn't die. But the doctor said I've never experienced anyone that's been stabbed in the chest and how they are now. I said, mate, you just got to keep positive. No point me and ahhing, oh, I've got a scar, do you know what I mean? Or, it is what it is, isn't it?
You ever been to prison?
Yeah, I've done about six years. And, mate, and the crime rate's going up, and the police are... Like,
crime's going up?
Standing there and you'll be watching someone getting robbed for a bike or a kettle. They're just shitting themselves. Oh boy, they're just employing everyone because they ain't got no proper stuff. They're employing fats. And I'm looking and thinking, how you passed the police training thing? You know what I mean? Like, I've experienced it there and I've learned it when I was in HMP Belmarsh. The alarm's gone off and then one black fella, one mate of mine called Money, he come up to me, he's like, mate, do you know what he's in here for? I said, nah. I said, he's a sausage. He looks like a sausage.
What is a sausage?
Like a div, innit? Like a wanker, innit? Mate, my black pal said to me, he's like, mate, he's in here, he's phoned old Bill to the house, old Bill's come, he's grabbed the two old Bill, killed them, chopped them up, boiled them, he's cooked them, and he's ate them. And then the only way he ate them, yeah. The only way he got found guilty, they've done a DNA test on his and had the police in his, cannibal. And I'm there throwing wet tissue at him, and I'm thinking, what? But he looked.
Reality of the road is everybody's trying to get off it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't stopping until I've got 10 milk fat and I'm off. I can walk my own yard. Like, my kids are good. Like, I'm not stopping. And I'm not standing for less.
So you won't leave the game until you have that figured out?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? My own business. Like, I ain't doing no 9 to 5.
Yeah, you can't walk away from that fast money.
You don't respect it, innit? Because if you have to grow up and save up to 30 grand, you ain't gonna blow it as quick as, you know what I mean? Well, so when I'm getting 30 grand with like 30-minute job, I'm blowing it. Like, I'm not taking it serious. But I'm thinking, yeah, I could do another job.
We're talking like coke and hookers or what?
No. Obviously.
What are we talking?
Robberies.
I see.
Yeah. Robberies.
Yeah. Venom, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, no worries.
Marv, what's going on with today's youth? Is it much different from when you were a little gangster?
Because look, when we were kids growing up, we had to fight to create a reputation, like, and you had to stand up and fight. You had to stand up for yourself, and if you weren't prepared to stand up for yourself, then you was used and abused. But if you had a difference with somebody, who had an issue with someone, then you had to have a fight, and that was how you sorted your differences, by fighting.
With a knife?
No, with hands and feet. The knives came in later.
So, what do you think has changed in the modern youth's perspective on violence, stabbing each other, being a part of a gang?
Social media and games. Because the kids don't realise how serious their actions are. So when they commit these stabbings and these cuttings, they don't actually realise that they're actually going to decapitate someone, cripple someone, or kill someone. And then they think, what have I done? I don't want to go to prison. And then they fall apart. When we were
Can't that also be labeled as this thing where people's or men's brain don't fully develop until like 24 or 25, so they don't have the cerebral whatever complex to be able to make certain decisions? Why would you blame it on video games and on stuff like that? You could say that could maybe be a factor into it, and you could actually argue that. Although, I don't believe that's true. You could argue that point from that.
we were growing up, we knew what we were doing and we knew the consequences and we was prepared to eat the consequences. So if you'd done something to me that was bad enough, then I would happily stab you up or shoot you and go to prison because it was worth it for me. Nowadays, these kids ain't got no values on anything. They're killing each other for nothing. That life ain't worth it. And if you're going down that road, then you are pathetically wasting your life and every opportunity you have to be the best version of you.
And I know you're helping the youth now. What are you doing?
Well, I set up systems in football, boxing, music, media and construction to help navigate kids away from crime into training and employment. But more importantly, I work with the hardest to reach kids that are leaving school, leaving care and leaving prison. And I try to get them into being the best versions of them they can be. My idea is to create a business model with them and set them off into a sustainable lifestyle and a passion that they love.
Do you think knives are the problem with these kids? Some
No.
people say ban the knives, that'll solve everything. It seems a little bit ridiculous.
No, I think it's the mindset of the individuals and it's the elders and the peers and the parents. It's the peers and the social landscapes that are moulding our youngsters into being the barbaric killers that they're becoming for nothing.
Special thanks to Marv and Farron, and you can go see Marv speak live this August. Link to everyone's socials and more info in the description below.
There are some experiences
Yeah, I think that last point was great about the parents and stuff like that. I think that's what matters most is that you have these parents who are active in these kids' lives and molding them, and shaping them in the way that they want, or in the way that they feel is right, or whatever, right? So, I don't know. Maybe it. Here's a question for you. Question segment here. Would it? Fuck, I forgot the question, man.